Did you listen to Jeff and Professor Hemo in the morning? Here's what you missed.
Sorry, Jeff, the traffic is...
Bro.
I had to wander and do it, man.
Watch out.
Yeah, I left
Watch
the car
out.
junction, yeah.
You wandered and
home
moving.
at 6:20. Nico's house.
Where's the combat? Where's the combat?
Morning,
Let's take off.
Yeah. Coffee, tea, Maji, anything?
Tea will do.
Tea with milk, sugar?
2 spoons.
Pressure. Yeah, Hamas. We call this the official national anthem of smoking country on hot. I'm sure whiskey love. Steve Mbogo is in the house.
In the hizo.
And he took a nduthi. He abandoned his vehicle.
Alisema Lamborghini wachana na.
Kwa hivyo bulletproof zote, kila kitu kiko kwa gari.
Yeah, I just came light.
Amewacha gari wapi?
Junction.
Mheshimiwa, karibu sana.
Asante.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you, thank
and
you.
thanks so much for making it. That shows commitment. Nduthi. By the way, umelipa ngapi nduthi?
So 3. Lakini nimempe thao.
January 8th.
Huyo ni mtu wa Nduthi ameangukia. Maisha yake yamebadilika. Starting the week.
He walked away with a brown.
Man. Ameanza wiki vizuri aje?
So, Mheshimiwa,
Yes.
since we've only got 6 minutes at the top of the hour, we'll start this and then we'll continue into the next hour. Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Asante sana. So, first up,
Yes.
when you got the call,
Yes.
where were you on that Tuesday afternoon?
Actually, I was on my way from Karen because I'd gone to pick my daughter from school and I dropped her home. So on my way back, first I received a message from a friend of mine. Then I called him to confirm because there was that message on circulation. Actually, it was a forwarded message that was saying avoid Riverside Road there because there's an attack at the Riverside 14. So I called my friend and he told me, yeah, it's true, I've been sent for that message. So what I thought, because I am personally in very good relationship with the owners of Dusit. We are friends and we run some businesses together. So I called one of the managers at Dusit Hotel. His name is Francis. And when I called Francis, actually he was panting. And I asked him, are you okay? He told me, no, hapa si kuzuri, tafadhali, please tumana tusaidiwe. I asked him again, wewe uko sawa? Akaniambia, yes, I've managed to escape, but you've been attacked. So at that point, that's when I realized the message was true. And Jeff, I want to tell you, personally, I was a victim of the Westgate attack. I was in there when it all happened.
5 years ago.
And I know how it feels being in there. Now, what came into my mind, number one, is a rescue operation. Because like for us who are inside there, the people who helped us were civilians.
Yes.
Gun owners. Because at the end of the day, it's all about passion and knowing what you want to do for your people. So I rushed back home, I picked my ammunition, and I drove like crazy all the way to Riverside, Dusit.
Yeah.
And I went straight in there and we started rescuing the people. You know?
Yeah.
When you see this picture going round, Jeff, look at that picture. Those are zoomed pictures. Those are pictures that were taken by someone without even my consent. Look at the pictures clearly. And I personally was sent for the pictures by one of my very good friends called Andrew Nyanja. And I asked him, where did you get this from? He said, it's in all groups, man. What are you doing there? I said, okay, I'm here. By that time, when the picture was going viral, I was inside and then we came out because that's the time I think they got information about the car that the tourist had come with.
Right.
And it happened, there was speculations it had a bomb. So what they did is they told us, all of us, to stand at one point because they were trying to detonate it. And they actually did it. So by the time we were standing, that's when the person took the picture. But you see, I personally, the support I gave to the police is quite immense.
Tell me something. So you
I am the first person who got the maps from the owners of the hotel.
The blueprints.
The blueprints, I can show you, I have them from one of the directors, Chirag. He was communicating to the police and one of my very good friends who is one of the directors in the intelligence in the military, DMI. And I was communicating with Chirag through I was the one conveying the messages from the owners of the hotel to the military and also to the police.
Tell me something. Do you
Yes.
remember exactly what time you arrived there?
I got there at about maximum 4:30.
4:30.
I can't give you the exact, but around 4:30.
And this guy you're in the picture with, were you together?
No, I just met him there.
You met him. Oh,
You know, we were all standing there
Right.
because they were detonating the bomb. So everyone who was there, you know, you can't go questioning who are you.
Right, sure, sure.
Yeah, because for me personally, I thought maybe he was a police officer.
So
Because there were so many people.
So he's not
There
a
were so
buddy
many-
of yours.
No, I don't know him. Even today, you ask me who he is, I don't know.
So tell me, did you actually rescue people
Yes, I did.
from which side? From which building?
The first building is called the Arlington.
Arlington, yeah.
The Arlington building. And Jeff, you know, I left there at 4 in the morning. I'm still the same person who was the first guy to go into Central Secret Garden and evacuate and remove all the dead bodies from there.
bodies, yeah.
You can call Goulet, he will tell you.
I saw the video.
Yeah, you can ask Goulet, he'll tell you. So these are not things that we should take for granted, Jeff.
Well, so why do you think people suddenly said that this man is slain?
And I believe we have not less than 500 to 1,000 workers working there. So you come in and people are running and there's a blast, their cars burning at the entrance, and you know it's scary. But at the end of the day, for personally, Miss Mbogo, you know, I'm a very courageous man. Let me tell you.
I was going to ask you.
You take me to Iraq, we will go.
Utaenda?
You want us to go to Kismayu, we will go.
Man,
Huh?
Sasa
Kwa nini?
kifo kama inakuja ni siku moja. But you see, if you can sacrifice to save your brother, your sister, your mom, dads, you know, anyone's life, it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you stayed
You know,
there.
I'll give you an example. Do your research. You'll realize that it is the same civilians who rescued people at Westgate. They're the same people who came to dusit.
yeah.
So is it by coincidence? No. How many licensed firearm holders do we have in Kenya? Almost 50,000. But Vinay is always there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Harish is always there. Inayat is always there. So it's all about sacrifice. You know, people should, you know, these things should be taken seriously, Jeff. You know, it's so sad for me. I really felt sad that we have such an ordeal where Kenyans should be discussing how do we help the forces, how do we back up the security of our country. People forgot about everything in the same day and they're discussing Steve Mbogo just because of a picture, which I didn't know who took the picture. You understand? This thing is serious. Kenyans have to understand that this thing is getting out of hand and we as Kenyans have to come together.
And it doesn't seem that we're learning any lessons from the past.
Yeah, and we seem to lose it somewhere as Kenyans. We are turning social media to be something else, you know? Honestly, Jeff, I think you've been reading the comments and everything.
Yeah.
I even saw a young person who said, I'm celebrating Kenya is being attacked, for heaven's sake.
Imagine.
Why would someone say that? You know? And he's a Kenyan.
And he's a
So
Kenyan.
people need to be serious.
Yeah.
The best solution to fight and counter terrorism, for me, I've always said it and I'll always say, is we beef up the intelligence system. And the best intelligence system, it is me and you as Kenyans to work with the security forces. Because we know people better.
Yeah.
Amo, when someone comes and rents a house next to yours,
Yes.
definitely, you need to know who that person is.
Sasa ingine na hii maisha
Sisi
tunaishi-
hapa kwa ground tunajua nani mwizi, nani mkora, nani malaya, nani, we know them.
Yeah.
You see, but I remember very well during Arap Moi's time, my friend,
Yeah.
you could not even say the name of M1
You couldn't.
because you touch that name in 2 days,
Umeenda.
chief comes for you.
Yes.
No, it's reality.
The maize seller
Yes.
was intelligence.
The shoe shiner,
China was
Makanga.
intelligence. Yes.
hawker.
And that's what you need.
Yes,
That's
we
what you
need to
need.
go back to those systems.
Yeah.
We have to ensure the news of tomorrow, we have it today.
Mheshimiwa, what about the talk that security guards, yani Securico, KK, BM, all those should be armed? What are your thoughts?
Jeff, I want to tell you first, for me, honestly, ever since I was attacked, I was in the Westgate ordeal.
Yes.
I've really been doing a lot of research on security. And I believe security, the first priority and the first key element that we should look at is the discipline part of it. We have seen security companies, people who do money transport and all that, themselves running away with the money.
Wanakula kona na.
Now ask yourself, if you give them the guns, what will happen next?
Yeah.
But you see, one of the key elements in the forces when you're going for training, be it police, military or anything, is instilling the discipline. So for me personally, I know we have sections like the NYS. These are people who are trained and they're well disciplined. Why don't you get a few from there and take them even for paramilitary training, or maybe, you know, just to learn how to use the guns, because I believe they go through the same trainings, more or less the same as the police. Maybe they just don't go for the ammunition training. Why don't you train these guys and you strategically put them everywhere, you know, where it's necessary? Because Jeff, let me ask you, what will happen if tomorrow again it's in the headline, you know, and breaking news, they've gone into a hospital, or they've gone into a primary school, or they've gone into a nursery school? Because for me, I believe a terrorist is just someone who wants to instill pain and create fear. It's not someone who can go to war. It's not like a rebel group. You know, rebel groups go to war and it's ground, they shoot, you shoot. But these people just want to make you pain, you know, instill the pain and build absolute fear within your mind.
Completely.
You
It's
know,
all said, yes.
what will happen tomorrow? If you're told, I told you in the year 2014, on 10th of December, I have the article here, I'll share with you. I did an extensive article, and I said, let's protect our schools before it's too late. I gave an example of the Federal College of in Nigeria, in Yobe State, that was attacked and 59 students died. I gave an example 2 months later after that, they kidnapped more than 279 girls by the Boko Haram,
right.
you know? And
Chibok.
4 months, Chibok. 4 months later, we are attacked in a university at Garissa. You know?
147.
147. So it's time we need to take these things seriously. And on a serious note, Kenyans, we have to work hand in hand with the system. And also for the police system. You know, there's that culture in Kenya where maybe someone has an information, but he's afraid to portray it to the police because maybe they'll tell you also a suspect. So we need to build that relationship. The security agency, I'm pleading with the CS, Mr. Matiang'i, I'm pleading with the IG. You know, let's find a system on how we can bring back the relationship between the police and the common mwananchi, so that he can be free to express his feelings or and tell you there's something that is not right somewhere, maybe I feel this person is not a good person. You know, we have to build that relationship. Go to Tanzania. You go there in 2-3 days, you will not pass 3 days, they don't ask you who are you and what have you come to do. Yes. You saw that meme that was going around, it was in the Tanzanian paper, where they put a very big binoculars and our president is looking into binoculars, the binoculars seeming like he's looking into, you know, the Al-Shabaab in Somalia. But there's a drawing of a tunnel going under the president and coming in, and they've written kukubali wageni bila kutoa taarifa. You know, we are busy fighting out there, but people are just coming in. It's an open door. Sasa let me ask you, wewe unaenda kupigana kwa jirani. Nitapewa.
Nakuja nipate walipika.
Yes. So you know, we really need to work as a nation. It's not a matter of the police. For me personally, I want to congratulate the work that was done at dusitD2. The only challenge, as I said earlier, is that it's a big complex, and for a person who's never been there before, you know, it was very confusing, and the buildings, you know, the way they are built, the architectural drawings, they are a bit complicated, but the coordination was good, unlike Westgate, where there was confusion, but you know, we can't blame because it was our first social attack. And I also want to pass my condolences to those who lost their families, those who lost their friends. I personally lost friends I know, friends who campaigned for me, friends we campaigned together, you know, like, and also I want to pass my condolences and a quick recovery to those who were hurt, both mentally and physically, because it's a disturbing thing, you know, and we want to tell you that we are with you. We as Kenyans, it's not a matter of the police. Me personally, as Steve Mbogo, I'm sick and tired, because I don't know now what next these guys will go and hit.
Exactly.
You know?
And they will hit.
And I was just thinking, imagine these people, next thing you hear, they're in a hospital, or they're in a school, or they're in a supermarket, my friend.
Or a church.
Or a church, or they're in 1824. People are dying, and the guys go and
Dundishwa.
you know.
1824. Listen, were you arrested at all? Because there was reports following this event saying Steve Mbogo's been arrested.
What happened is, because of that media and the social media, even the characters, funny characters like Miguna were tweeting everywhere and all that.
Yes.
So I was summoned because they need to verify, because actually the question was my gun.
Right.
Because they were saying that gun looks like an assault rifle.
Correct.
But you see, my gun is a basic shotgun, which is within reach by a civilian firearm holder. It's a basic Anacon shotgun, pump action, magazine fed. So that is within reach. You understand? So I went there, I was summoned, I showed, they saw it, they confirmed it's not an automatic weapon, it's not an assault weapon, and we finished up the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything's cool now.
Yeah. I don't think there's any normal person who will go to such a ground with a weapon that is unlicensed or anything. People should understand that that place was not business as usual, my friend.
People don't realize.
Don't realize.
They see it on social media and they jump on it.
Kenyans have turned to be keyboard champions. People who sit in their houses and just tweet and abuse people and debate and fight Al-Shabaab with keyboards. No, time for keyboard fighting is over.
Does that bother you sometimes?
No, I got used to it. What has not been said about me? No, let me ask you. What has not been said about me?
It's true.
Just the other day you had a crazy person saying Steve Mbogo found his wife, I don't know, with a driver. We are used to these things, my friend, and they make me strong.
Oh yes.
I'm someone who started from nothing, and I'll not stop for nothing. So my friends, let them continue happening.
Oh, yes.
But one thing I love and I like is they keep following.
Wako na wewe.
Wako na mimi.
I think
bado ni watu wangu.
mtu alikolipia ni huyo alikuwa amesimama kando yako. Akitweet kwa picha. Ni kama yeye ndio alikuwa anaitisha picha.
Because I didn't know.
Huyo ndio alikuwa na shida.
Hizo picha mimi nilitumiwa and I'm like, how fast?
Yes.
Umetoa wapi? He said it's in all groups. I said,
Huyo ndio alikuja na mwenye picha. Huyo ndio anatakiwa investigate hiyo.
So you said everything has been said about you.
Yeah.
But yet people don't quite know what Steve Mbogo does. Tushasikia stories zote. Sijui kuuza gold au ni unga. Tumesikia stories zote. What does Steve Mbogo do?
Okay, basically I'm a businessman. I run quite a line of businesses, from mining to mineral trading to commodity trading. I'm also into real estate, and I'm also into a financial consultancy. I've got companies in here and also abroad. I've got partners we work with. And more to that, I'm a leader. Mimi ni kiongozi. I'm also into politics. But Jeff, you'll agree with me that the culture, not only in Kenya, I've seen it everywhere. The culture of the African man is that if you're from a poor family, it is a crime for you to be successful or seem to be successful. You understand?
Yeah.
When Steve Mbogo buys something, he must be questioned because they don't know who the father is or who the mother is.
Ametoa pesa wapi?
I want to tell them that a human being is a product of his or her imagination and what you think you become. In front of the Lord who blesses me, Jeff, I'll tell you, there's nothing I have desired my God has not given me. Because I work towards actualizing my goals and I get it. And will not stop at anything. Yeah.
You still aspire to be a politician? You still want to stand next time?
Yeah, of course. I won, but whatever happened. And if you want me to go into politics, I'll give you the numbers. But
unasema tulishinda.
Of course.
Sava ifunguliwe. Tukutane Supreme.
But you see, saizi tuko ndani ya handshake.
Yeah, handshake.
Yes. And let's embrace that handshake.
And you and Mheshimiwa Jagwa mko sawa?
No, he's my friend. He's my friend.
Okay.
Lakini nimeona kazi imemlemea.
Maybe next time awachilie.
Nitamtoa.
Oh, utamtoa tena.
I know there'll be a fair competition.
You rescue Starehe.
Yeah, it must be rescued.
It must be from terrorism
Very
or
true.
lack of
And Jeff,
Yes.
one of the things I forgot, it is so sad where we have leaders, and these are leaders, personally, I thought they are people of intellectual capacity, like the Nairobi Senator Sakaja. Apparently, I think he has nothing in his head.
Why is that?
Someone who goes in media a day after, and also the same day, and tweets and talks about Mbogo, that Mbogo had an assault rifle. He's a personal friend of mine. He would have called me and asked me, hey, bro, are you okay? That's the first thing you ask, Politics, haina uadui. He's not my competitor.
No.
He's not my enemy. I didn't vie for the senatorial seat.
Yeah.
He goes full throttle instead of discussing about the Dusit issue.
Yeah.
He discussed me in all groups, all social platforms. He went to media. My friend, you want us to fight, we'll fight politically. But I want to tell you, it is time to grow up. Let me tell you, Jeff, there are things I saw at Dusit that really touched my heart. I saw Boda Boda operators running to the shopping center in Westlands, buying water, 10 bottles with their own money and giving the police. Wow. I saw poor people running, bringing milk to the police, bringing bread to the police. We had leaders. But these leaders, apparently, some of them were keyboard tweeting, they're fighting on the keyboard. Where were they? It's not a must for you to go in and fight, Jeff. Support can be any type of support, even moral support. Even being there means a lot. To be very honest, I saw the DPP, and he's a courageous man. I saw the DPP, Mr. Haji, he went till inside the site. I want to congratulate the DCI, Mr. Kinoti. He was full throttle fighting inside there. I saw the director anti-terror. I saw the director flying squad. I saw the PCIO, Mr. Kamwende, inside the scene.
Wow.
Those are the type of things we want to see. They give you morale. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to change as leaders. Let's not politicize everything.
Hata tuliona Governor Sonko na ile yake pia.
Kake, sema kake. Hakuwa amepatiwa memo.
Alikuwa na kale kake.
Alifika akakapita. Haka kaidi wanyangazi.
Engineer, by the way, the tweets are coming in thick and fast. Engineer Josephat Mayanja says, studio, ask Mheshimiwa, number one, does he always walk with those firearms everywhere? In other words, are they in your car all the time?
No, you can't. You see, the law tells you they should always be in a safe. Wherever you keep it, it's yours, but in a safe which is inspected and confirmed it is there. You cannot walk around with such ammunition.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, luckily, I was close to where they were. So I decided to pick them up and go and rescue. You can imagine I'm calling Francis, the manager of Dusit, was before he was the manager of Sankara. He's a very personal friend of mine. I personally am a regular visitor at the Dusit. I have my meetings, if I have my clients, my friends, they stay there. In fact, my New Year's Eve, I had the dinner and the New Year's Eve at Dusit Hotel.
In the Thai restaurant?
Yes. So you can imagine the relationship we had. I have shown you the maps being sent by the owner of the hotel to me, which I shared with the police officers.
Correct.
How
is Francis right now? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. We kept speaking. In fact, he really assisted also in the operations because he helped me. He helped us. He shared the numbers of those who were trapped inside, so they were able to communicate with the security agencies. He helped us a lot.
And there was that lovely lady who was gunned down trying to distract the terrorists. She was also Dusit.
She was
manager,
working. She was working with Dusit.
Shame.
It's so sad, but we are with them.
Tell me something, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
And Kenyans, like you say, and fortunately or unfortunately, many of them will never experience this firsthand.
Yes.
You will not come face to face with a terrorist pointing an AK-47 at your face. What is it like when you get to that scene? Blood everywhere, dead bodies, the chaos. What's that like?
No, but I'll tell you, Jeff, at the end of the day, it will only take a courageous man, and in fact a man with big balls, to go in there. I'll tell you, to be honest, because it's not easy. You're fighting someone who is ready to die. He's come to kill and die.
Correct.
You understand? So with his mentality, he's someone who can do anything, attack you aimlessly. But I also believe they are human. Because I remember there's a clip which was going around in the Westgate Mall, where there was this white lady and the 2 kids.
Yes.
And the kid hit the terrorist and told him, "You are a bad person, why did you shoot my mother?"
Yes.
And he escorted them out.
Yes.
He said, "I'm sorry."
You understand?
Yeah.
So, it's all about brainwash. And it's so sad. We are seeing, look at the names, the lists. I was seeing the lists yesterday in the news and even today in the morning in the radio. Look at the list of all those terrorists. You realize most of them were formerly Kenyans. These are people who are our people, but they've been brainwashed.
Correct.
I want to tell the people that terror has no tribe, terror has no color, terror has no race, terror has no religion. I personally saw the 2 young men who were killed at Secret Garden, the Somali young men who happened to be the owners of the Kilimanjaro restaurant.
Correct.
They're Muslims.
Yeah.
The terrorists didn't care.
Yeah.
So
And he was praying right outside there before he blew himself up.
you can imagine. And look at Somalia itself. You hear of bombs every day. So they don't care who you are, what you are.
No.
For them, it's their ill agenda. And that's why we are saying we need to come together and work as a country.
And for us to still be in Somalia 7 years later, remember we entered there in October 2011, to still be there, Mheshimiwa, is this still a good idea?
In fact, what I think, we need to beef up security more there. We need to keep them more busy there. Jeff, imagine if those people are let free. Can you imagine how they can grow? Can you imagine how they can now decide to come and terrorize? We never had a problem with them until the day they started kidnapping the Mzungus in Lamu, the tourists. And you don't know what they will plan tomorrow. Such groups, at the end of the day, their main agenda is power.
And look at that drone that hit them the other day.
Yes.
I mean, they were going to attack a base, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
How Hawachoki?
Yesterday night we saw the breaking news.
Yes.
Again, there was another attack they were planning on a Chinese construction company.
firm. Exactly.
Imagine. So what if you withdraw, and you give them time to grow? My friend, they'll finish us.
They will
So
overrun.
for me, I'm pleading with His Excellency, the President, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. If there is a way we can recruit more and send more men, I'm even ready to go.
Utaenda?
Yeah?
Hey, this
More
man.
there.
This man. How often do you go for training?
After the Westgate attack, I personally went to Sri Lanka. Actually, I went to India, and I was with one of my partners, the owner of Village Market, Kingsway Tires, Mr. Manish.
Manisha, yes, Manish.
You can ask him. I went with him to India, and we went all the way to Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, that is the first country to have a terror attack. They were being fought by this terrorist group called the Tamil Tigers.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And I stayed about 3 days there learning on counter-terrorism. So you can imagine how affected I was after the Westgate attack.
It messed you up. You needed some therapy. You needed some detox.
Yes. Those people have been attacked. They were attacked for a period of about 30 years, every day being bombed.
Yeah.
Today, they have one of the best security. My friend, every 50 meters there's a military check. They don't care whether you're driving in a presidential car or anything, shuka, terror.
Kuangalie.
Are you serious?
Sijui nini umechukua hapa katika.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Absolutely.
To be very honest. And I plead with the security agencies, let us not compromise security. Let it not reach a point where our kids will ask us, Daddy, where were you? Amo ulikuwa wapi kabla inchi iende? Because these people have no good intention.
Yeah.
They have no good intention at all.
No, they want to destroy.
And they want to instill more fear in us, they want to instill more pain in us, but let them know that we are fearless. Yeah. We are fearless.
Hii desperation vijana wako nayo. Do you think pia inachangia kuitwa huko wanapelekwa huko makazi za kipuzi?
One of the biggest challenge I'll tell you, to be very honest.
Yeah.
There are two things. The youth of this country lack two things. They lack what you call a sense of belonging, and they lack what you call direction. Ukiangalia youth man, sisi ni watu tunaendaga ground.
Yeah.
They belong nowhere economically. They belong nowhere socially. They belong nowhere politically. ako tu. Kwa hivyo akipata mtu wa kumgeuza akili dakika moja
wakimuonesha.
And you know, like in recent newspapers you could see from the intelligence, you know, they offer them money. Now it's something different, not like those they used to say it's just jihad. They tell them they'll get a better living, they'll pay them money. It's turning out to be business, and that's why it's more dangerous. You know, yesterday at night I saw a video clip of this guy called Maingi, the guy, a military, a KDF soldier who was kidnapped at the Alwek attack about a year ago. And I saw a video late night, someone sent it to me, and they shot him live. And before he was shot, he said, I'm dying because you media people don't report about this story. I die because His Excellency is not withdrawing the soldiers. And they shot him. And this guy who shot him, you can hear the accent, he's a Kenyan guy. And he says, we are telling the military people who are here in Somalia, you just have to run. If you want to be lucky, when we attack, run. Or else, we will kill you, or we will capture you and kill you like this guy.
Wow.
You understand? Wow. So those are things meant to create more fear within us.
Correct.
But I want to congratulate those wise men and women in the KDF. I want to tell you, as much as you think Kenyans are not with you, there are people who mind about you. And I know the support from the government is there. The support from the people will always be there. Msipoteze moral.
Kabisa.
Twende kazi. Kaende.
Ben Japinika anasema, I have changed my perception about you. After this interview, your personality is what leaders need. That conscience will take you far. And then Wayne Bryan says, you know what? We needed this. Yani, we needed to unwind and uncoil ourselves. And Steve Mbogo gave us the perfect picture and the viral video to do the Steve Mbogo challenge. So at least ulisaidia watu. Your tension. All right, we have about a couple of minutes to go before the end of this segment. Final thoughts, Mheshimiwa. Going forward, you've said some very important things about you know, the whole Nyumba Kumi, being aware, working with civilians, all this stuff. Tie it up for us, because you know how watu wanasikiza, huh? Wanasikiza.
Now, wanasikiza, of course.
Talk to us.
Now, for me, there are a few things that I will see if they're implemented, they will really help us. Number one, as I said, before we even talk about fighting back, how prepared are we? So first, we start with the intelligence system. We have a very good intelligence body in Kenya, but I believe the best information is with the mwananchi. So how do we bring back the relationship between the forces and the common mwananchi, so that mwananchi can give in, you know, you're confident in saying, bwana kuna jirani nimempata lakini haeleweki. You understand? You know, even that small information is more than enough and can help you unfold an attack or unfold a wrongdoing that was meant to happen. Number two, when you talk of preparedness, how often are we training our people? You know, it is time, institutions, companies, schools, hospitals, everywhere in general, we have to start giving trainings to our people. Maybe in case of an attack, or even psychological trainings on how to read people's minds, you know? Because I believe, Jeff, there are people you've met and your conscience tells you this guy is not okay. Now, what do you do with that information? Because you have nowhere to take it, you remain with it. But maybe if you could have taken it somewhere, it would have helped. I saw a story on social media. The terrorists let one waiter go. They told him, wewe ulituserve vizuri sana hapa.
Kahawa.
Tuserve kahawa, weenda.
Au wengine watu
wakawawa. You know, now how do we train our people? How do we train our receptionists? You know? This KCN 340E has been there how many times? So many times. So, and the mindy guy says, hii gari ilikuwa inapaka hapa sana. Anapatia 100. But you see, because lack of training, lack of passion, it is time now we have to be detectives. kila mtu tafuta information gather, peleka kwa chief, peleka kwa police station and the police. Let's work with the Kenyans. Wasiogope, because many people with the perception, there's that fear. Mtu anaogopa polisi, niende niseme nishikwe.
Tutasaidia uchunguzi.
Wewe kwanza hapo chini. So
akikusaidia uchunguzi. Hata mimi nione
kwa mbali. Acha niote mbali. So we need to bring that together. And again, the other thing is I remember there's something that used to be there during Moi's time. They used to call it the police reservist. And those people used to help. Anything happens there, the first people on site. And more so, the people who used to collect information. And if someone is afraid of talking to a police officer, it will be easier to talk to another, like a reservist, like a common mwananchi,
Akina Patrick Shaw, Soki Singh.
How was Nairobi that time? You tell me.
My friend.
Shaw si alikuwa anahamisha watu Nairobi.
My friend.
Anakupea fare.
Rudi Ocha. Nikisikia uko Nairobi,
tumemaliza.
Nani alirudi?
Wengi wako Muhoroni
hiyo wamehold Kakamega wapi Kitale,
Those were the days.
Those were the days. There are things the former president Mr. Moi used to do that people never used to understand. Let me tell you, if you love your country, I believe in any country, priority number one is security. You see, there's no need for me to feed you, Jeff, and you're not safe. There's no need for me to provide a medical care for you and you're not safe. There's no reason for me to provide schooling and education to you and you're not safe. So number one is security.
Ukipewa hiyo kazi unaweza chukua?
Mbaya sana. Asikudanganyi Jeff. It is something I've been reading. I'm a victim. And that thing got into me. And I said, how can I help? What can I do? And I'll always be ready.
Did you stare at death at Westgate? Uliona kifo?
By the time unaingia pale, ni either utatoka ama hautatoka. You understand? So it's all about sacrifice. Kwani hao askari ambao walikuwa naenda si pia wana sacrifice? Why don't I sacrifice? Why don't I sacrifice? Now another thing that I will suggest is a response team. Like we have very good elite squads. Like the Reke. These guys are very good. Let no one lie to you. They are very, very good. You can see the owner is even calling me at the moment. You see, we have very good elite squads. I hear there's a new one called COG. We have the Reke. We also have an elite squad with the military. Now, you see, when you talk of response time, because I think the thing terrorists play with is timing. How many minutes will it take these guys to reach here? And you say 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, tutakuwa tumeua watu. You understand?
Correct.
Now, if we can strategically put up a small unit in each and every police station, let's say we have, like in Kilelesho, we have minimum, let's say even 5 in number. Because that's our terrorists wakuwagi wengi. Wanataka waine watano.
Correct.
If we can have 5 elite squads in every police station who are on standby, so that if there's an attack at Riverside, the ones in Kilelesho come in. If there's an attack in Westlands, the ones in Parklands come in. If there's an attack in Ngong Road, the ones, let's say, in Nairobi area come in. It will help. Because by the time maybe you get them from Ruiru, they're in their trainings, by the time they dress up, they get the cars, it takes time.
It does.
It takes
that
time.
30 minutes, a lot of people could die.
So if we can have that response mechanism, I think that will also help a lot.
Fanya hivi, wachana na siasa. Go into this. You seem to be passionate about this. Hii kazi unazafanya.
Jeff, let me ask you. Some of these things are the things that push you even to go into politics. Because you realize the only way you can articulate and be heard maybe is through a political platform.
And you
let us be honest.
And you make the change yourself.
Sasa mtu ungekuwa ordinary hivi hata mngeniita hapa.
Wapi ungekuwa unasaidia uchunguzi.
Bora hujaita
hivi. Picha moja ingetokea. Ya wale
bora hatujaita nani?
Mbona hujaita wengine ni
huyo mwenye mlipigwa na yeye. Anaitwa nani leo?
Sasa hizi masiasa zinatupea pia platform ya kuongea. And we have no any ill intention. We have no any ill motive. We love this country. And let me tell you, the worst thing is us waiting for our kids to ask us, where were you? Daddy ulikuwa wapi? Aka kitu kanaumaga.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing.
Where were you?
Sam Wamasebu says, Hongera, Honorable, for coming out strong at the Dusit attack and saving lives. A true reflection of a leader. And then Bosco Ndete says, he is such an understanding man. Asante Mhesh.
Umesikia kitu amesema huyo? Amesema Mhesh is very sober about terror.
Yes.
Kudos Mhesh. Somali tunaenda na wewe, DM me. Huyu ako ready.
Ako ready?
Amebeba kichwa.
Sasa ni wawili.
Amebeba kijiko.
Steve Mbogo, thanks so much for coming over, man, and clearing the air, because there was so much about this whole thing. And I know ulipigiwa sana na all these social media bloggers and everything, and you tried to clear your name, but it didn't work very well. Lakini sasa, we hear you, man. We have heard you. Na weendelea hivyo, bro. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is what we call
Candid Interviews with Catch Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.